Greetings. Hello, my friends. My name is Edward Stinson III, and I am your Wonder Knight. I'm happily joined here today by a great friend of mine, Deborah Joseph, who is commonly and widely known as DJ. Hello.
Hi. Hi. Welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you. Letting you guys know that she is a hair care specialist, an educator, and an advocate. And through my time knowing them, they've been someone who has frankly been one of the strongest and healthiest voices for advocacy, especially in the Black community and especially when it comes to hair care. So I'm happy to have you here and would love for you to please tell them a bit about yourself.
Well, my name is DJ. Everybody knows me as DJ because my salon is called DJ Styles. So this is also a name that carried me through my teenhood as far as doing hair. So this is basically what set that off. I have been doing hair for the past, you could say, decade professionally, but mainly all my life. And I mainly service people who look like me. Not that I cannot style everybody, because I can, but living the life where I'm surrounded by people who look like me and I'm able to provide those services to them because they're in close proximity, I was also able to collect a lot of data. And over the course of the years, I realized there were a lot of habits, bad habits that we were religiously sticking to. And that is what basically led me on the path to not only doing hair care professionally, but also, like you said, advocating for Black men and women, using hair care as a way to teach them more about healthcare, because they do go hand in hand. So that's a little bit about me.
Oh, excellent. So would you say that aspect of healthcare is really what inspires you, really kind of acts as your muse for why you do what you're doing?
Yes. I did not know that in the beginning, though. Like I said, over the years, this is slowly unfolding in front of me around my brothers, around my friends, my sisters, male and female, and how hairlines are receding. People are experiencing flaking, hair loss. I myself experiencing that for a majority of my life, and recently being able to recover from that. That has inspired me to want to educate myself more on what could be going wrong and how can I also be the solution.
Interesting. I definitely want to ask a bit about that data later on and what you have found out, but we'll get to that in a moment. When it comes to, I guess, how it became your muse, you said you did it for many, many years. What kind of started that path and kind of made it your personal purpose to deal with this?
What started the path was, I'm Haitian, so you got to know how to do the basic things, which is do hair, clean, cook, and especially if you're a woman in the household, you got to know how to do these things, especially if you plan to have children, so you can take care of your children. It's like a traditional part of being a woman as far as the Haitian culture.
I see.
And my older sister also did hair, and she would do my hair, my little sister's hair, and I was very, amazed at her work. So definitely was inspired a little by her. And I was like, I got to keep this thing going. She was nearly 15 to 20 years older than me, maybe 17 years to be exact. So she felt like an auntie a lot, but she wasn't always around because she was older and she was always living her best life as she should, whether it's college or whatever. So I was like, okay, I can't have her around me all the time to have me look good. So I'm going to just mimic as much as I possibly could. So I started there because I knew I would have to learn. My mom was excited when she realized I knew how to learn. And once I learned, my sister, everybody's friends, my sister's friends, my friends, and it just didn't end. Yeah.
Okay. When you were kind of getting into that and then learning that it's not only a skill you have, but something that's kind of integral to the culture around you. Not just, this is a cool hobby that we have, but it's also something like our parents and parents' and ancestors have been doing, and it means all of this for our culture and how it represents. What type of influence has it kind of had on your life? Where, yes, of course, the healthcare side of it, but besides me just assuming that, it's part of your culture, how has that looked for your family, and how has their role kind of been shaped? Well, I should say, how's their lives been shaped around hair?
I agree. I'd say as far as hair in general has so many aspects. So you have the healthcare aspects, and then you have the, you can say, racial discriminatory
that's fair.
aspect, and then you have the law aspect too, which kind of go hand in hand with the health and with the basically all three, as far as health, law, and it being racial, they go hand in hand. And the more, so in the beginning, like I said, there's many aspects to it for me. It unfolded at first as, okay, this is something that I just know how to do.
Yeah.
This is something that everybody in my family, well, most people in my family know how to do. This is something I should know how to do. This is something normal. This is nothing special, right? And then over time, I realized this was a gift and it was special. And not everyone can do it, right? Because I started to get out of that little small pond of fish, you can say, and started to explore more as I got older into the ocean. And this is when I realized my gift was truly a gift. And then that's when I wanted to take it seriously, because I didn't want to just approach it as it's just a hobby anymore, or it's just something I'm good at. When I went to school, because I said I just want to be set apart from the average person, and it took a lot, because for me, being Haitian, there's so many traditions and things they have when it comes to hair care. So you'd assume that these things actually truly help, especially since we've been like indoctrinated with them for years. But then going to school, putting two and two together, learning more science, it was like we are our own undoing, if you could say, in a way. So that's basically what I spend a majority of my work day teaching my clients, explaining to them.
If you're comfortable sharing, and I definitely now want to ask about it, what is some of the data you've learned, or what are just some of the major factors that are leading to these problems with hair care? Or especially, like you said, in the community, there are a lot of things we follow religiously. What are some of the biggest factors you've seen that you wish some people at least maybe not have to stop immediately, but at least definitely learn more about?
So one of the main things is, for me, that I have to religiously talk about is protective styles.
Protective styles, okay.
Protective styles. So those would be considered like those braids, box braids, cornrows, twists, faux locks, even sometimes with or without extensions.
Yep.
And as much as I love these things,
are they actually hindering us?
Absolutely. They're not necessarily so protective, because we tend to. There's a method to the madness, right?
Okay.
I teach my clients that less is best and moderation matters. So we tend to find something that works for us, like let's say a set of braids, right? For a woman, she'll get some cornrows for a month, keep them in, because she's like, every day she wakes up, she can just go. Or she'll have box braids in, and she realizes every day she can wake up and just go. It's one less thing to worry about, because at the end of the day, back up until the last few years, and there's still a lot of noise to sort through right now with all the information that's out. Back then, there wasn't really much information for us to take care of our hair. So it's like, okay, if I have this style that's going to allow me to be able to take care of my task, be present in my life, and not have to worry about it since I already don't know how to deal with it, I won, right? So this is what we have been, because it's been such a convenience, and because it tucks our hair away, we don't see what's going on with it underneath. We don't understand what's going on with it underneath. We call it a protective style. And then we have the tendency to go from, this is working out for me, to, I'm going to make it work out for me all the time. So we go to wearing the braids for an extended period of time, which varies by person. I don't like to give a set amount of time, like, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, because honestly, every scalp condition is different. Every hair texture is different. Every person's lifestyle, what they're going through, if they're premenopausal. Sometimes braids on somebody who's going through menopause, it's hot. They don't want to deal with that, right? So it's things, and they don't want to deal with that for too long, maybe. Maybe it's for a vacation for a couple of weeks, and so it varies by person. So I'm not even going to get into that. It's a whole thing. Get to my class if you want to be a part of that. But it varies by person, and it should not be abused in a way to where it's one size fits all, which I've noticed the braiding community tends to do. Or where these braids, like I said, have become so convenient to where we will wear them for an extended period of time, because most stylists, a lot of stylists don't really know that there's a time frame on these things.
I've definitely just heard that protective styles are the way to go, but I don't hear anyone really talking about the detriment of wearing them too long. I just hear wear it until you need it.
Sorry to cut you off, but protective styles also, we need to find a way to change the way that word is, the meaning for that, what that word is, because It's not protective if it's hurting you. It's not protective if you're neglecting your hair. It's not protective. I say protective styles really lean towards more natural styles, to where, like I mentioned before, they're not worn for such an extended period of time, or you don't have such tension, like tightness on the head or weight on the head with the long extensions, or where you're even wearing the extensions back to back.
Ooh.
Like, you'll take them out and then the next day you get another set and then you wear them for another 8 weeks. Your hair is dehydrated. Your scalp is probably going to start flaking. You're probably going to experience some hair thinning. So, and that's what a majority of us are experiencing, because we've been experiencing it for so long. We think it's normal, but it's just common and it's not okay. And this is coming from someone who has been a protective style junkie, a braid junkie. You can't tell me nothing, because I wore my box braids for 4 or 5 months. I like it religiously. So I know I've had alopecia areata. I've had scalp flaking. I've had no edges. I've had the back of my head bald for like 2 years. This is the longest my hair's ever been, because I decided, okay, I'm going to take this education and I'm going to apply it to us as well. I don't know why us as a Black community feel like science, let's say in the Black community, aesthetic is more important than science. That's truly what we care about. We care about the style, the fashion, the look of it. We're not really paying attention to what's really happening to us on a health aspect, on a health level. So that's what got me deeper into it. Going into school, I was expecting for me to just play with hair all day. And I didn't get that. And I was so happy that I didn't get that. The first 6 months was straight bookwork, straight science. You learn chemistry, anatomy. You learn, there's so many things that you learn about the hair, the skin, the body. And you have to know these things because it's all connected, which is why I'm more of like a holistic educator. So yeah, all that to say, there's so many aspects to it. But in the beginning, it was, just a hobby. Then it evolved to, I'm going to school. I want to take this seriously. Then it evolved to, whoa, all this information. Why are we not using this information? And it was so serious to me, to the point where I felt like, even if you're not going to do hair professionally, even if you're not going to cut hair professionally, you should go to cosmetology school. It's only 8 months to a year, depending on your lifestyle. And you will learn so much about yourself. And there's so much crap you will cut out, and so much information you'll learn about the beauty industry and how they use marketing ploys to reel us in that really don't truly give us a positive effect. It's all there. And that's how doctors feel when they go to, when they go to med school. Or that's how mechanics feel when they go to school and they realize, whoa, this is a game for companies to make more money. They're not really truly helping you. But now you have the inside information, and you should take that opportunity as a way to help lead the people. Now, I'm not saying the education that I learned in school is all said and done. Absolutely not. There's many different realms that I tap into to get my information, especially on a spiritual, holistic level. But even putting them together, spirit and science do go hand in hand. And that is the mind. That's the body. So yeah, there's many aspects to it. It's been evolving, and it's been a wonderful journey as far as healing through hair, you could say. Yeah.
Oh my God. That is amazing. I definitely haven't given enough thought into hair, I see, nor have I considered just how actually accessible it is to get some knowledge in cosmetology. When it comes down to only doing it in 8 months to a year, that's not a lot of time compared to the rest of your life being wiser on how to take care of your scalp. I guess, staying in that same line of questioning, I do want to know, someone in front of me who knows this stuff, what are some of the main causes for, whether it be alopecia or balding or even receding hairline? Are those related variables, or are they actually different factors?
So you mentioned what's one of the things that
alopecia
one of the things that affect the Black community that we religiously hold on to? Protective styles. We've got that whole entire notion all wrong.
So.
Oils. Excessive use of oils. We don't realize that.
Really? Please teach us.
So the hair grows you are a plant, right? And it takes a proper environment for the plant to grow.
Okay.
That's what your hair needs. That's what your body needs. In order for it to flourish, it needs the right conditions, the right foods, the right sleep, the right rest, the right vigorous activity, the right amounts, all of the things. Everyone varies. As far as hair is concerned, you need a clean scalp. Hair grows out of clean follicles. The cleaner your hair is, the more your hair will grow. I have not put oil in my hair for the past 2 years.
What?
This is the longest my hair has grown.
Okay. Okay.
Prior to that, I was only putting oil on my scalp on wash days, which was every 10 to 14 days.
Yep,
Or sometimes 7 to 10, depending if I was in the gym, going to the beach.
Yeah.
And that was only on wash days because at the time I was experiencing some flaking.
Yeah.
And that was because my scalp was tight because it was not, let's say, what's the word? Not absorbing water. It would absorb it, but it wouldn't hold on to the water.
Okay.
Right, enough. So then I'd get dry pretty quickly. So then I'd feel itchy again or tight. Usually it's tightness that leads to the itching.
On the scalp. Mm-hmm.
So things like that. The oils or protective styles, those things, they're cool in moderation. They're cool on a treatment basis. They're cool every once in a while. Vacation braids, bet. I got you. But like when we're doing it over and over again for long and holding on to them for long extended periods of time, and then doing them back to back, and then not allowing the hair and the scalp to get hydration, cleansing, and stress relief from the pulling and the tensions of the braids or the twists, whether they have extensions or not. So people assume, oh, I'm just going to twist my hair up, my natural hair, and keep it that way. And I'm just going to do that all the time. Every time I wash my hair, I'm going to put them back in. You could possibly be also still doing yourself a disservice. Because think about when you're walking on a carpet and you're walking on that carpet the same line every single time. Over some time, there will be a line of demarcation.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some pre-existing history of stress and tension, or, like a footprint of the stress that had been put on it, right? So that's what's happening to our scalp and our hair. We need water to basically help it get back to normal. We need the hair and the scalp. We need the scalp in general mainly to breathe and chill, not have so many things suffocating it or hanging on to it. So think of, like, as I mentioned, your hair is a plant. Plants need sunlight. We need vitamin D. Some people don't know. And like I said, I'm an advocate for the Black community. They tend to be upset at the fact that they have shrinkage. And I'm like, first of all, two things. And this is how I shut down the conversation. I'm like, one, you need shrinkage because shrinkage lets you know your hair is healthy. That means your elasticity is where it needs to be. If it does not spring back to its original or to a shorter length, then your elasticity is off. It's been compromised and you likely have damage. And for someone who wants their curls to be healthy and, even cohesive with the rest of their hair, you don't want to be at risk of that. So that's one. Shrinkage. Shrinkage is a great thing. If you have shrinkage, you are very healthy. You have very healthy hair. So that's one. Two, as melanated creatures, our hair tends to grow outwardly, right? But it's not just for people with melanin. This is mainly for people who tend to also have coils, right? And a lot of us tend to have our hair grow out like that. And the main reason for that, I recently discovered, or let me not say discovered, I recently learned. I'm not fucking Columbus. But
he's got them all.
Not the place for that. But I just recently learned that our hair grows outward that way because it allows the sun to be able to touch our necks. And it needs to touch our necks in order for vitamin D to properly synthesize within our bodies. Especially as melanated beings, because we need a little bit more time than the average person in the sun in order for that vitamin D. And vitamin D is not necessarily something that you need that's like a vitamin that's over the counter. It's a hormone. So you need the sun to continue to reactivate that hormone so the rest of your body can be fully functional and optimal. So that's just one part of it. The plant, right? It needs the sun. We need the sun. Plants need water. Depending on the plant, like us, depending on the texture of your hair, depending on your scalp condition, it has nothing to do with your race. Hair has nothing to do with your race. It's a fabric. So it just depends on different makeups of your characteristics of your hair and scalp, and that'll determine what you need. So as far as a plant needing water, different plants require, let's say a snake plant will require water once every now and again, or you'd have another flower that would probably need to be watered once every week. So depending on the texture of your hair, depending on your scalp condition, that would apply, but you would never want it to go farther than a month as far as watering. But in the Black community, that's another myth. I guess we're debunking myths today, where we people are saying we have to, and this is the way to do it, that we should wash our hair once a month and that's all we need. That is not the case.
No.
A clean scalp is what grows hair. So the fact that you're washing your hair at least, so once again, this part varies because I don't like to just say, oh, Black people should wash their hair every 14 days, every 21 days, every 10 to 14. It depends on you, scalp condition, hair texture, your lifestyle, the styles you do on a basis, all that stuff. But typically, it would have to be at least every 5 to 14 days. And we've got this preconceived notion that one time a month, once every 6 weeks, once every time we take down this style for 2 months, and then we wash it, and then we put another style for 2-3 months, and then we wash it. Our hair's not getting the love, the treatment.
It's not getting it,
Absolutely. And if you're someone who really loves their hair and wants their hair to be like a specific way, like let's say, oh, I want my hair to be more softer, or I want my hair to be more stronger, or I want my hair to be more shinier. The treatments, the best time to do these type of things and to get the hair that way is when the hair is wet. The hair is best set when it's wet. When it's wet, you can reprogram the hair.
Okay.
This is how you get your hair to be healthy. But if we're not giving our hair opportunities to get into the shampoo, to get washed frequently, or at least consistently, then we lose those chances and those opportunities. So this type of education, shedding light on this type of stuff is what I do all day at work. This is my life. This is my life. And I don't hate it. I love it because it shows me, once again, this is still revealing data to me at how far gone we have been in the community and how there's been a lack of, targeted information, true education and information for us. Don't even get me started on relaxers and chemical services. So, and this is, and also I do want to shed light. I don't hate on any of these things. If you want your hair to be straight, by all means. If you don't care for your curls being damaged because you like to keep your hair straight, do that. But do it the healthy way. Do it the right way, right? If you want to wear relaxers, do that. Do it the healthy way. Do it the right way. Go get it professionally done by someone can actually is experienced with it and can handle it, right? Not somebody who just says they do relaxers. Everybody just do stuff now. If you want to get braids, do that. But there's a method to the madness, right? So less is best. Moderation matters. So I'm not hating on nothing. Whatever you want to get done, get it done. But take care of yourself in the process. Be mindful of that. So, yeah.
So I would definitely assume that that's definitely your kind of desired influence on society when it comes to understanding the situation is really just being educated on what you're doing, making sure you're making the right choices, and again, keeping that clean scalp. As you said, keeping the clean scalp is actually the best way to grow your hair, and everyone's scalp is different. So learning what method best works for your scalp is the obvious best choice to actually deciding how to make your hair grow better. Okay. Not to give away your secrets, but what are some of the next goals you have then on this journey of education? What are the next things that you're kind of worried about or focused on?
So I was initially worried about, like I mentioned, the law aspect of it. And how that does play a role in what's going on within the hair care industry, especially for Black women, because it's truly affecting us. It's like a silent killer in the background that people aren't aware about. And I've been on the front end of it for the past 5 years. I actually have gone to caucuses. I've spoken with mayors, with senators, with the board of cosmetology. I got videos. This is what I do.
What are they?
Don't even get me started.
Yeah.
This is what I'm about to say. In that time, in that time, they had me on 10. Because it was not only just circles, but also made me realize, damn, y'all really don't give a fuck about us. I didn't want to accept that, but I gotta accept that now. I'm front and center, and
you're still seeing.
So it's a lot of things that are for the ploy. I've even been on Channel 7 News, and I was talking about so many things that really people should be aware about as far as hair care practices, and nope, they just took 10 seconds of what I said. And
interesting.
Fuck the whole minute,
anyway.
So they said, forget the whole minute. We're just going to take this little 10 seconds. That's all we need from you. So little things like that helped me realize I was in a kind of a depressive point at the time because I was doing so much work trying to get to the front of the racial, the legal, and the health aspect of things, and the education piece as well. But I realized I'm one person. And no one to this day, well, I feel like, let me take that back. These past few months, I'm starting to see more content out with other people talking about their experiences and how they're noticing our hair care practices are the cause of why a lot of us ain't got no edges. And why we gotta wear lace fronts all the time. Don't even get me started on wigs. But, with the legal, the health, all that being gone together, you could say in the beginning, I got frustrated because I was on one person. Everybody didn't see the problem. And I also realized that the best way to be at the forefront of this is by just becoming the solution.
Okay.
And just be the first to be in front of the solution. So that's the goal. Being someone who takes care of my clients, someone who makes it a priority to make sure I'm educating my clients through and through.
Okay.
From the moment I meet them to the moment, they leave me, if they don't ever see me again. I also am now in the process of being able to trying to do that on a mass level.
Yeah.
Right? So, that's my goal.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Just efficiently and effectively doing more of what you were already doing, keeping up with the health, keeping up with educating people on the law aspect of it, the racial aspect of it, the health aspect of it, getting more people to just really see the connection with all that. That is really integral. I love history, so it's always anything that helps people kind of see the interconnectedness amongst us, the holistic aspect of everything, that is important to me. So I really, really do appreciate and cherish the aspect of education that you have behind all of this. As a historian, I know hair has been definitely used against communities in this country, and it's really inspiring to see someone who is in that conversation on the front line, actively worrying about it, actively educating people in this field. So are there, I don't want to say that, no, I will. Are there any regrets that you've had as you've gone down this path or gone through this field where there might have been something you wish you could have learned a bit more about? Not necessarily a regret as oh, I've messed up here. No, but something you wish you might have been able to learn more about or do more about, but you had to focus on this aspect of it.
Whatever I feel like I want to learn more about, I will learn more about. So I don't have really any regrets.
Okay.
And I feel like everything I've been learning, from starting out as a braider to then evolving to a loctician to then evolving to a curl specialist or natural hair care specialist, you could say, and then to now becoming a scalp specialist. So and there's more. There will always be more. So
no need to regret. You could just learn it when you need to.
Absolutely. And I'm looking forward to that. So that's why I'm in the hair care industry, because I notice I can learn all the time.
Okay.
So that's where I'm at. Student of life.
I love to hear it. So then I guess kind of wrapping up a lot of the ideas you've talked about today, what in trying to kind of gain insights from this, what is a profound piece of wisdom that you would love to leave with audience members or leave with each of the clients who do come to you and do look to you for knowledge or education about the law, about the health, about the racial aspect of it? What is some profound wisdom you want to leave with people that you definitely need them knowing about their hair? Or scalp, I should say.
I would say it's very general, and it's general so that it applies to everything. Nothing happens to you. Everything happens for you. So to all the girls and the guys who have the naps or the curls that they can't seem to understand or decode, there is a way. Just be more patient with yourself. Take more time to understand it. Same way we would take time to read a book or take time to binge on a Netflix series. Take some time every weekend to get to know yourself on wash day, and give yourself grace. Everything that happens is not, against you. It's for you. And once you start to look at it more like that, life becomes much more opportunistic, and much more productive and much more fulfilling. So, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, before I let you, I got to ask a couple questions that are just general questions. Finally, we have a hair specialist here. What is the timeline that a person's wash day should be?
Oh my goodness.
Should it just be a flat 2 weeks?
How about you? How about this? Because I feel like if we do general, people are going to run with this information and think it's law. And it's not, like I said, it varies by person. I have to stress that it varies by person. Okay. So as far as you concerned, I haven't felt your hair.
Okay.
Can I get a feelsies? I haven't checked your scalp. Okay, she fluffy or whatever. Okay.
Juices and berries, man. I feel y'all. I feel you.
I'm assuming you don't have any scalp flaking.
Not that I know of, unless it goes on for
fantastic.
several weeks. Does it? Teach me, does it? Oh, and it was when I had the braids for a while. Oh, true. Yeah, I did.
So that's what happens. So you see what happens when you keep them in for a while.
I did have them in for like 3 weeks. I had them for 3 weeks. Oh my God.
So guess what? 2 weeks would be the max.
2 weeks would be the time?
So I would say your sweet spot is typically between every 7 to 14 days.
7 to 14 days.
Never
Okay.
let it go over 14. Today was, yesterday was my 14th day. I had to wash my hair. I said, oh, I can feel it. Like, ooh, I gotta get it. And I was never this way.
Yeah.
Guys, so one thing you'll notice to your hair, you think it's soft now, it'll be very soft after you get more consistent.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Shameless, he's talking about it all the time. I do Renaissance Fair like all the time. And so I'm always doing sword fighting, or I'm training with our many members on like sword fighting and everything. So for the people who are more active, and they're of course going to be interested in quote unquote protective styles, what would a person who is staying active, keeping active 2 to 3 to 4 times a week, should it still come down to, should you then not, I don't want to say lessen the time that you wash it, but lessen the times between washing, of course, because you're sweating all the time.
So someone who's very active, basically, like I was, when I was at the gym, I'd have to wash my hair every 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
So if my hair is washed, I'm retwisting it and I'm doing, So
could be weekly, basically.
But like, honestly, for me, even though I don't even need to retwist it all the time. I just recently stopped doing retwists all the time. I just probably do a retwist maybe once every 3 washes.
Yeah.
Because that tension constantly applied every 14 days still applies. And my hair gets longer, that's added weight. It still applies.
Okay.
So no matter if you've gone the natural route or with the extensions, these things carry their own weight. So I know they defy gravity, but
do braids help hair grow
if you do it in the proper way?
If you do it,
so that's how I do it in my salon. But so let's bring it back to you.
Please,
someone who's active. You typically want to wash your hair every 7 to 14 days. But if you're wearing braids, right, I would typically say you can keep them in for about 10 days. You take down those braids, let your hair breathe for about 3, and then you wash your hair. You can even wear your braid out. Like, so people tend to like miss out on that because they're just like so quick to washing the hair and then re-putting another style back in. It's like, chill, bro. You can actually let your hair breathe with the braid out or the twist out, and then you can go wash your hair, and then you can get another set done because you're giving yourself some time. But that's for somebody who's doing their hair with their natural hair. You typically do cornrows, so that's safe if you're washing your hair every 10 to 14 days. Now, if you're doing it consistently on the front end, you are cool to, let's say you're going on vacation for 2-3 months, you don't know a stylist, and you have to risk wearing your braids for maybe 1 month to 2 months. That's cool. But that's if you're not doing that on a constant basis. If you're doing that once every year, once every couple years, you're fine. You're good because you committed, you've been consistent, you've been taking care of your hair and your scalp on a consistent level for the past 2 weeks every week, right? But now all of a sudden you need 2 months to keep these braids in. You'll be fine. But if you're doing 2 months worth of braids in your scalp and your hair, every time you put them in, take them down, 2 months, then put them on 2 months.
That's going to end up becoming bad for your scalp at that point.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Also, think of like how I mentioned the plant. You see how we have braids hanging down? You know how that's pulling, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's also think of how your hair and at the root is growing as well.
Yeah.
So as it's pushing out, you now have weight on this virgin, fragile hair that's growing out, and you have this weight on the bottom that's yanking and tugging onto it. So you're now more at risk to having hair breakage or thinning, or even inflammation because of the tension that's on the hair. The plant, you don't want nothing pulling at the plant leaves. You don't want anything suffocating the plant because it won't grow beyond past what's on top of it, kind of like a hat, wigs, extensions even. So the same thing applies.
I then have to ask, okay, so I love that you brought that up. So when the weight is then pulling down, and you do have, like you said, the virgin hair just coming out, what is the best way to go about protecting that hair?
There's no protecting. Now that's giving you the sign, especially with itching and buildup, that, okay, it's time to take me out and wash my hair. We've been so accustomed to, it's not our fault though, because and also this is another thing. When I say there's a lot of things we've been taught in the Black community that's okay, that's not okay, and how we are our own undoing. I'm not saying that to point fingers. I'm saying that it feels like that because I have to pull teeth nowadays. Like, there's proof, there's evidence, y'all. We've been fucking up. Stop it. So like, I don't have to convince you. Like, the proof is in the pudding. But there's a reason for that because of patriarchy and the racial stance of everything. And we were not able to wear our curls proudly. there was nothing out there for us. No education, no products, and the products that were not good products. What's that lady name? Start with a C. She is known for like hot combing and pressing people's hair and had the salons, the famous black lady. I'm not talking smack, but I'm just saying she wasn't helping the community. You could, she didn't know it. She was helping it. She was helping as best as she could. And people peeped that and they capitalized on top of it. And it spread like wildfire. Then relaxers spread later after. And a lot of things that weren't healthy for us became a norm because they didn't want us to wear our curls proudly. So I get it. But like I said, we got evidence now. We got resources now.
Yeah.
We got access now. We got money now.
Yeah. Also truth. There is, I'm not going to say we now have a lot of wealthy people in the Black community, but like there is wealth.
I don't want to hear that. We're
in.
wealthy. We are wealthy.
Right?
We're going to keep speaking that narrative. We are wealthy.
We
are wealthy as fuck. We are wealthy and we are healthy as fuck.
Good stuff. I think definitely building that wealth is allowing us now more ability to control what's happening in our community and to acknowledge the things that have been pushed on us that we've, like you said, just kind of been accepting. Just because it's been what we've always had doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's the best and healthiest way to do it. And I think as we start learning more and more of the chemicals that are actually going under our bodies, onto our scalp, into our hair, more people are realizing that we pretty much absorb most of the stuff that touches our skin. And a lot of us, like you said, have been neglecting the chemicals that are touching our scalp, which I don't know if that's a surprise people, is still part of our skin. And so
don't get me started on chemicals, but also I don't want y'all to be alarmed and like gung-ho on them too. Moderation is everything. So that's number one. So if you're somebody who relies on a specific thing that has chemicals, let it not be a daily thing, right? Have dibble and dabble maybe every now and then. Another thing, your body produces chemicals. So we don't need to be as afraid of them as we have been marketed out to be afraid of them. And 3, there are several websites out there, and I say several because I would like for you to check out more than one, because there are some now that have started out small, were truly integral, and then over time they have been bought out to where now they have like partnered with some major brands to state that, oh, this is healthy, this is not, this is safe, this is not. This is why I'm saying several. There's plenty. You can look those up if you really want to take it there. But like, yeah. That's my take on chemicals right now, because that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah. Don't worry. Well, I'm gonna lie, we'll probably have a whole nother podcast on just that. 'Cause I have a couple friends who are all like different, I want to say conspiracy theorists, but are people are just talking about the conspiracies, because like it's not even a conspiracy theory that like the hair chemical industry has overlooked its effects on our health for the benefit of profit. That's not a conspiracy theory. That has actually happened. We can study that.
It's a theme.
We have the evidence.
Common thing. Education,
right?
Law enforcement, government, health.
Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah, it's a theme. So that's another thing too. As I'm learning more about this health thing, I'm like, shoot, this stuff is connected.
Yep.
It has its hand in everything. Fudge.
Yeah.
This is deeper than deep. I'm like, forget this. Let's just be the solution. Let's focus on that.
I feel that wholeheartedly. Working to be that solution out there. Yeah, even around the town here with our company, we're working on trying to be the solution for education, be the solution for writing, art, publishing. We see that literacy is taking a huge hit in the community. How else do we help that? Let's do it. Let's actually be one of the companies that are helping. Let's make the
programs. Let's give the education. Let's do those classes. Let's create those workshops. Let's collab with those people. Let's be present.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree.
I think being present is definitely going to be what kind of moves our community forward into the future, and progresses our ability to actually interact with health. And I think that, I don't know, hair, same with like dental work, is one of those really underappreciated aspects of our health. A lot more people are dealing with balding, are dealing with alopecia, are dealing with hair issues. And I think that's one of those things that's going under the radar as we deal with all the other health issues going on in the country.
So speaking of under the radar, recently, this past 5 years, it's like a few people woke up like I did, or maybe they had already been on the journey, but like, people align, from time to time when you're on the same journey. So I've noticed that there wasn't as much documented information about the Black community and where they stand as far as hair loss disorders. There was some information, but very few. And it's not up until this past 5 years, there's just more publications just dropping every year. And there's major brands and companies that are like collabing with Black doctors, Black dermatologists, Black cosmetologists, Black hair care hair care brands to be able to get this information. So that, and after they've been doing that, I learned that it's about 61% of African American Black women who are experiencing or have experienced some form of hair loss. There is somebody in your family right now who hairline or hair is thinning out.
Yeah, several. It's the 60% sounds correct if I'm just going off of the women I can remember off the top of my head in my family.
Right. And I'm still healing. Right. And people don't know that. People just see you and they're just like, oh, all things are well. And it's like, no, everybody has a story.
Actively healing from it. Yeah.
Your hair does tell you a story. It'll tell you if you have issues with your health. You mentioned male pattern baldness.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, males assume, oh, I'm balding. It's genetic. I'm just getting it because my dad had it, my uncle had it, blah, blah, blah. It does play a role. But it's not always just the case, or if that.
Okay.
Prostate health.
I did not know that.
That's a big one. And men don't care about that. They don't really care about that till it's about in their late 30s or 40s when something happens in their health and they realize, wait, what's a prostate? And then they're like, oh, I need it. And then it's like, okay, they either have to do surgery or by the time they're 50 or 60 or they have to
Might be too late.
So taking care of your reproductive system, and this applies to both men and women, just doing that alone will have you and your hair at your best, or at least as best as it could be, right? So that's something to consider as for my men.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, prostate health. And no matter how young you are, like it's never too early to make sure you're on top of that.
Yeah, no, I know that like I worry that sometimes, we'll attribute it to, oh, it's just hair loss issues. But I'm glad you brought up the issue of the prostate like problems, because I do worry that sometimes it's, early signs of like cancer, but we don't realize it. Early signs of, these very strong, powerful, and prominent diseases. But because, like you said, we just don't have enough research in our communities, we're missing out on just seeing the signs. We should be realizing it more and more, but we're missing out on that. And this goes almost hand in hand with a lot of the times we see in our country, centers and sites and areas of pollution are many times directly next to Black communities. And so they're getting a lot of the fallout and fall off and extra runoff, I should say, from these factories, from the air, from the water. And I mean, I almost weekly, if not monthly, if not weekly, we're seeing more and more chemical spills. We're seeing more and more factories brought up on, because they weren't regulated a decade ago, this river's been contaminated. This river is the water source for these 36 towns, 24 of which are places predominantly of people of color. Who could have calculated that?
Yeah, the shit end of the stick. And honestly, I feel like right now, so after doing, and I'm still constantly learning, but after having gone through this entire exploration of hair and learning history, I had to learn also about the social injustice that we were experiencing as Black people. And I realized that we have come a long way as far as freedom and access to resources and creating regulation. Like we had power. And we do have power.
We do.
But it feels like there's no one at the city hall meetings or the council meetings, or you have to pull teeth to get somebody to a rally, or to have a fundraiser for a great cause, or to just like meet together and have a meeting about creating some way to have our neighborhood safer. Stuff like that was a thing for us because we didn't have the TV, the social media, the fancy cars, all the constant distractions that's out right now. I mean, everybody's like trying to chase some status. Everybody's trying to constantly appease to the Joes. Yet our community is failing. And it's not like we don't have, if anything, we have more access and more resources.
We do. I completely agree. We have significantly more access to resources today than we've ever had.
So you think it'd be much easier for us to be like, hold up, here's a problem. Let's get this petitioned out. Let's go talk to our city mayor. Let's go talk to our city commissioner. Let's go get this taken care of. It may take a while, but it's better than just sitting here and having to deal with this dump for the next 10 years because no one feels like, oh, they're enough. And or that they don't even see that it's a problem because they're distracted, versus you actually taking the opportunity to use the community or use your power, even if it's individual, to make that type of regulation. That's what I was doing in the first couple of years of it. But I realized it was a constant roll around, and it wasn't just one industry I had to affect. It was several industries. And I said, that's way too big for me as a task.
That's
and
tough.
for me to reach out to other people who don't see the problem, I'm better off just being the solution. So let's be that too, right?
Yeah.
Let's be the solution. Okay, they don't want to regulate trash. Let's regulate trash.
Let's do it.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's find a way. Let's give people jobs. Let's find a way to outsource this. But there's so much distraction. And it's not even just to the like social media or keeping up with the Jones aspect. We have to go to school. We have to work.
You have to give education.
We got to take care of our families. People are caretakers. Some people are taking care of their mothers, their grandparents. Some people don't have nobody. Like, so I get it. I get it, but like it hurts, but it's also like this is where you have to really more than ever like be proactive. Yeah. So you can't do it. Fuck sitting and sulking. Your ancestors did it, and like you really have to stand on that. Like realize that your ancestors did it. You would not be able to sit in your home and eat, chilling, not worry about somebody bomb rushing your house because your ancestors did it. We've been chilling for the past 100 years. We need to get back on it. That's all I'm saying.
I heavily support this. Heavily support this. I full on get that same sentiment of, I do think that Black America has become very Americanized, and Americanized in the sense of our individualism has ended up disconnecting us from most of our communities. Our nationalism has separated us from our connection to the world, to Africa. At sometimes religious supremacy or religious nationalism has disconnected us, frankly, from the teachings of the religion we've been teaching in our own churches. And there's a reason that there have been jokes and protests and people mad that the Black church looks different than the white church. Well, yeah, because the vision of community looked different to those of African ancestry than of European ancestry. It just looked different. And how we proclaimed and shared and showed that love of faith looked different. And so, I mean, I don't want to say it's not surprising, but like it makes sense that after a century of yes, slavery ended. Thank God. I powerful. But I need people to stop thinking that the forces that wanted slavery back just stopped working completely right at when the Civil War happened. Like they still want to demonize us.
That's
they still
active.
Want to demonize
that's
hair.
Still active.
You know,
but
they're
also
still working.
We active too, though.
And we need to be active because
like,
we have to acknowledge
we
that
have power
they're doing
too.
it. Yes.
And that's all I'm gonna say. So I'm at that point where I'm tired of talking about the problem. I'm tired of talking about what's going wrong. I'm tired about saying, oh, the system. I'm over it. I'm all about solutions here.
We need to know that
solution
we're the
based. How can we get together and team up on this thing that could actually change our lives? And it could change everyone's life, but really making a significant amount on Black people's lives, right? Because I'm not around. I'm not with this. It's just for Black people. I cannot stress this enough. I know how to style all types of hair. And I say this because I've had Black people sit in my chair, chocolate AF, okay, with the straightest of straightest hair, no chemicals, no nothing. It grows out of their hair straight genetically. And I've had people who's been so white and pale. And I'm not talking about albino, but them too. But I'm not talking about albino. I'm talking about like the white ones with curly, the most curly.
Yep.
So doing this for so long has made me realize we are way more connected than we are separated. It's not.
Thank you.
So we can come together, you know, and make things work out for everyone. But once again, you know, significantly, you know, for the Black people, it doesn't hurt. You know, it doesn't hurt.
I'm with you on that. Our country has significantly hindered our understanding of healthcare because we didn't want Black people to be successful. Like white people are having less access to healthcare because we built systems to take healthcare away from like a huge chunk of our population.
So that's another thing I would like for people to take away from this podcast as well, is that the healthcare industry has always been big and booming, but the holistic industry is starting to head there.
Yeah.
But because it's heading there, the healthcare industry is trying to, you know, put their foot into it. So I would say for those people who are like me, who the medical industry has its place, they have the gadgets or whatnot, but definitely open up that holistic herbal store, do that holistic healing. get that course, buy that book, because that stuff is going to be, if you thought we needed it now, we really are going to need it within the next 10 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Even being a person, like, even if you aren't a quote unquote religious person, like, you can't deny that, like, all of our medicine does come from minerals and resources we extract from nature.
They come from plants.
They come from plants. Like, that's where we found them first.
They cannot, what's that word? They can't patent plants.
Yeah.
They can't make money off plants. So this is why they synthesize the plants.
Synthesize them,
and then this is why they add the other fun stuff to keep you treated and not ever cured.
Precisely.
And then stay in business. And then, and then also another pet peeve of mine with the industry as far as medical, since we're on that topic.
Please.
How when something's wrong with you, one, they don't take into effect that there could be other things wrong with you, which is why that one thing is wrong with you.
Yep.
And two, let's say if my knee hurts, they're just going to send me to a knee doctor, not knowing that it's connected to my hip. So now that I find out that it could probably be because it's connected to my hip, now I got to go to a hip doctor.
Another doctor altogether.
Then I got to go to an arm doctor, a head doctor, a leg. Like, it's all types of stuff. It's like, why is it all? And okay, I get that. Okay, cool. The body is so vast that you cannot have one person
learn. You need
a
specialist for
right,
it.
You need a specialist for this. So they say, right? Get the fuck. So they say, okay, cool. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to take that little lie, whatever, that little truth for y'all. All right. But like, what happens when I do go see that specialist? And I go back to my primary doctor, or I go to another specialist, and they're not communicating with each other.
Yeah. And they completely have different information.
Yeah, they're not communicating with each other. So you're telling me the x-ray I just took with you, she did not receive. So now I have to go back and go get that disc. And you have no idea what was in the notes. Or the notes maybe has like 2 sentences, as if that's supposed to really like shed light on what's going on with me.
No. Not at all.
It's a scary place.
It is. It genuinely is terrifying. It's genuinely terrifying trying to work through the maze that is our healthcare system. We've made it very convoluted, and it's very difficult to, first of all, get the healthcare that you actually need, hope that it actually helps heal you, and then hope that you can actually afford it at the end of the day.
Don't talk about affording it.
The ability to afford all of it is also an issue that, it keeps coming up. We don't want it to come up, but if you talk about any healthcare issue, immediately the cost of how to fix it comes up.
And this past month, like, I've had a new fire under my butt because of, personally experiencing 2 Black women in my family who have passed away within like the same week because they went to the hospital and then never came back out.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy. That's like, it's way too...
It's terrifying, man.
Yeah, like, you hear about it statistically, and then you hear about it through your friends, but like, to experience it. And then, like, in the same week, bro, like,
yep.
I don't have the emotion. I don't have the emotional bandwidth. Yeah. I don't have the emotional bandwidth. I don't have it. So
it happens so fast.
I had to like sit with it, cry about it, fuss about it, and then like use that as a way to repurpose my, put the light under my butt for my purpose and to keep going. And yeah.
I totally understand. I empathize with you heavily on that.
Yeah.
I know how much that passion behind you really matters, and that influence from those people who meant so much to you. It really matters. And I see that, in our talk today, I see how much that passion inspires you, how much it builds your inspiration, how much it holds your purpose. It keeps that influence strong that you're trying to build and educate those around you. And it, of course, guides what your next goals are going to be and directly connects to the insight you want to give everyone. So I'm grateful for the conversation. Really happy we got to talk. I'm really happy I got to just share a bit of this knowledge that you have in your head to the people here. I mean, I got to pick your brain even more about just keeping this healthy up here. I ain't going to lie, but I'm very, very grateful we got to talk.
Fine.
Oh, thank you. We'll talk about braiding later. We'll talk about that next time. I'm very, very grateful. Oh, final question I wanted to ask so everyone can figure it out. How long have you been growing your hair?
You really want to know?
For sure.
Since May 2022. So about 3.5 years.
Just 3 years?
3.5.
What are you saying? That is insane.
Don't do nothing. I just wash my hair.
Y'all, I'm slacking. I need to check. I'm slacking. I need to grow my hair out. But okay.
I don't know if he's going to edit this, but like, I wash my hair and I wash my ass. So I notice people, health
Yo,
hair
listen,
and
I ain't gonna
hygiene.
talk to you, bro. There's people out here who don't be washing their asses
Yeah,
right. Like,
yo, health, hair, and hygiene, they go together.
yo, people don't even
They
be
go
using
together.
rags. That still kills me. I ain't gonna front. Like, the people on the first step, I'm like, just you. What, using your nails? What are you doing? Okay, bless you. And no, you don't need to add that out. People need to know that's real. Everyone should be at. Please wash your booty holes. All right, what are y'all doing, team? My God, cleanliness, please. Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you for joining us, DJ. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Until next time.
Indeed, until next time, we'll have another conversation.
Okay.
Thank you.